welcome to another exciting edition of the Beatcast. Is everything working? Yes, everything's working now. That's better. That's better. What is the Beatcast, you ask? That's an excellent question. I would have asked it myself. What it is a beat challenge. It's a bi-weekly challenge. Every 2 weeks, one of our guys picks a sample. You take the sample, put it up on the internet at thebeatcast.com. A whole bunch of people all over the world, awesome producers, grab that sample. We all make something out of it. Doesn't matter what it is, just whatever you can, any equipment you have. You can put lyrics on it, you can put anything you want. And at the end of that, we come together to listen and enjoy those beats together as the Beatcast. And that Beatcast is here with me now. Bree took off. I don't know what you guys said, but you offended him. He's gone.
Hey.
He's back.
Looking for a hat?
Trying to find a hat as fast as possible.
I should really. I had enough time. I should have ran upstairs and grabbed one. But.
Keep in mind as we're going through the show today that we usually get anywhere between 30 to 40, sometimes 50 submissions. And so for the sake of time, what we do is we have our angry artificial intelligence, which is always working in the background, select at random 10 to 15 of those beats, and then we play them on the Beatcast. And so if you want us to play them all, and in a way to support the show, you can subscribe. If we get 10 subscribers during this episode, we'll run long and we'll play all the beats from this episode. And I think this is one of those ones that you might want to do that. You can always catch, by the way, our recap at our YouTube channel. All the links are at thebeatcast.com. And I want to give a special shout out to Heavy Mids, who every week grabs all of your guys' videos, downloads them, categorizes them, and puts them together in the recap video. And you can follow him at Heavy Mids on Instagram. But let's get into introductions. Bree, you just got back from New York, right?
Yes, sir.
How was that?
Man, that was it was an amazing trip, man. Like every couple of months or twice a year, when my daughter try to take a trip together, so like a father-daughter trip.
Yeah.
So we went out to NY. For those that don't know, I used to have a podcast years ago, before podcasts were podcasts, and we just did pretty much music, myself and my DJ Secure. Shout out to you, Secure. So we went out to New York. It was a great adventure, crazy time. We booked a hotel in Brooklyn in East New York, and it was horrible. It was.
Was it?
It was like pulling up on it was seriously was a 15-minute inn. Like prostitutes, drug addicts, dealers.
Hell yeah.
Like it was noise. It was crazy.
At least got experience out of it.
Right.
Oh man. Because dude picked up and he was like, I think this is your hotel. And I was like, shit.
He said it in a hushed tone.
It was a building and it was like a nice new door. We walk in and it had the glass. You could talk through this thing, like the restaurants and shit.
But you pull up and the guy dropping you off just takes off.
Really though. It was like that. And like so we get in there and I'm like, and then security is sitting in the lobby. I'm like, dude, where the hell up? And my daughter's like, yo, is this the right place? It's like, unfortunately, it was noise all night. It was just, stories for days. Yeah. But it was a great trip, man. We went over to the African festival, the dance festival.
Nice.
We caught the Basquiat exhibit in Manhattan, Chelsea, lunch, dinner in Brooklyn. It was real dope, man. Real good trip.
Very cool.
We all got to make it as a team. That'd be real dope.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into it.
Record shopping is dope too.
John, you have been working hard on this tape, and I know that the tapes have shipped out. I got my tape. Very cool. The cassette that we put together here. You got yours. Good. These guys are still. I think yours is in the mail.
It's right here in the mail.
Yours is right there. Yeah. You got the invisible.
Yeah. So I got my virtual one.
Yeah. Yeah, because it is on set. Yeah, with the code and everything. So.
Right. Just waiting on a few addresses to come through, but some folks have received them already. So if you did, I also sent you a download code so that you can listen to it online. So be sure to check the Bandcamp right now.
Yeah, you can check it even if you haven't purchased, right? You can listen, and then soon you'll be able to make your purchase. You can listen through a few times, or how does that work?
Right. So it's not available for streaming yet. It will be in about a month or so.
Yeah.
July 10th or 12th. And then, but right now you can purchase it. You can purchase the digital version. All of the cassettes are sold out, but yeah, go online, purchase it. It's $20. And yeah, it's awesome. So
And it's the beatcast.bandcamp.com.
.com.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So definitely check that out. I know you've been working hard on that, dude. And that's been going really well. Hey,
It's
thanks for
nice.
the subscription.
It's nice to have it online. So
Yeah.
for those that don't have a cassette player, jump online and give it a listen. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, you've got the collectible, and you can always go listen to the audio form. I listen to it. I have the app, and it connects to my car, so I can listen to it in my car and everything, like the Bandcamp app, and the art shows up. It's beautiful. RTC, what have you been up to? I know you've been doing a lot of house stuff.
Yeah, I'm moving into the new place at the end of this week, so
Yeah.
I've just been prepping for that. Been crazy,
Yeah.
It sucks because like I it's kind of sad seeing my studio with all the gear put away and box stuff and everything.
Yeah.
So it's but I can't wait because the new spot I already have it envisioned in my head. Got a new desk coming where everything's going, where everything's getting set up, so I'll have more space. So be a more creative environment. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah. That's cool. Well, man, it's kind of cool. Like this, we have a really special guest today. And this is
what
somebody.
about you, Alan? Alan, what
what have I been up to? I bought a house, and so I'm in the process of Thank you very much. So going through all those steps, you know how that is, and everything that comes with that. Other than that, just being mysterious and hanging out in the dark a lot, upside down. Yeah, fighting crime.
You guys are adulting over there, buying houses and shit, man. Like,
has to be done. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
I only waited forever, so.
Me too. I got another couple months.
Yeah, a couple more months. And it's not the best market to buy a house in, but like, I'll save that for my realtor podcast.
I will say I made out like a fucking madman. So
I bet you did.
So that's why I'm like, okay, what gear am I going to look at next?
Yeah, I'm on the wrong side of this. You're on the right side of it. Whoops. Also, big shout out to everybody in the chat. We see you. Thank you for coming in. There's more people coming in all the time. We appreciate you. I know that the time's a little bit different. I kind of like the new. Hey, thanks for the other subscription. Appreciate that. Pete's Homegrown Beats. But yeah, I want to get into our very special guest. But before I do that, I want to share something with you guys to kind of express a little bit how cool this cat is. Let me see. It's weird. The way I'm doing this is a little bit different than I normally do, so bear with me. But let's get into a little bit of this. Check this shit out. This shit's tight.
Yeah, I really like this video.
So he makes the smoothest beats out there, man.
Yeah, he does, dude.
Dude, it's like butter, man.
It is.
Also, the video work is through the roof.
Yeah. Everything's just pro quality, man. That's what I love about his channel.
Yeah, man.
Not only is the music good, but he does a good job with his production.
Every shot could be like a poster or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this, I would hang that on my wall.
Yeah.
And he does that unquantized, and then he like that's how I think it's like how you do it, right, John?
There's a bit of debate there too. I think, because I was watching one of his videos, he's talking. Well, I guess we can discuss this with him, but he quantizes and then shifts or something like that. But he'll tell us.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We have the luxury of talking to him about it now.
We're talking about him like he's not here.
Yeah. But yeah, this could go on for a minute, and I could play this obviously, this whole thing.
Yeah, we're gonna fan out for a while.
Yeah, I am gonna fanboy on this one because, like, even like when I'm at work at the office, like his channel is what I keep on the TV in the background, and keep that playing.
Well, John, I'm going to pull you in and out. Okay, so I'll yank you out for a second, and let's give a warm welcome to our very special guest, Marlow Diggs. There he is.
What's happening, man?
What's up, everyone?
How you doing?
Great, man. Thanks for the intro. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
thanks for
big
joining
fans.
us. You're coming from a long way, to join us here.
Yeah.
You're joining us from the future, which is crazy. How's the future out there?
Great.
Apparently, we made it. We made it. We didn't die. So that's good. Yeah, man. Your stuff is like, I picked up the NPC Live 2 not long ago, and I had seen your stuff already, but I'm like, as soon as I start searching, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? There you are. You start popping up, and your tutorial videos, you're like, the content that you put up is like super easy to follow along, very inspiring as well. Because you'll get a lot of guys on YouTube they're great at telling you, oh, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that, Lost Perception. So you'll have stuff that pops up and you're like, yeah, man, this is super informative, but you may not necessarily dig the music that they're making. But the stuff that you make is kind of hard not to like. Like it's technically what hip hop should sound like from that golden era. Like it brings you back to that really like fundamental time in production.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it all started. It started with tutorials, right? And then from that point where people were actually going, hey, the beats actually sound good. I was like, really? So I mean, instead of do tutorials, go towards the beat making videos. But yeah, that's part of the story though.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. He was, I mean, you're the reason that I didn't originally sell my MPC the Live 2 the first time, because I started out with an MPC back in the day, MPC 2000, and I went to machine. So when going into the new software on the new MPCs, it was a pain in the ass. But then when I saw yours and saw what you were doing with it, I was like, okay, that made me rethink, what I was doing.
Well, why do you think it was so difficult to transition from like the old MPCs to the new ones? Because it's almost like the same sequences and programs.
It wasn't more so as much of it being different than the old MPCs. It was that I'd started using machine, and I'd been using machine for about 5 years, and then going back into the MPC.
More of a transition between instruments and
I think it was more because I'm trying to do what I was doing on the machine. I was trying to do it the exact same way and just get frustrated at MPC. But when I watched you do it, I was like, oh, yeah, it's all coming back and it's all starting to make sense now, And all your little tricks you do and stuff like that really helped and made it faster. I can move around a lot faster.
You definitely make. I mean, you have your workflow together, and you definitely make it your workflow very relatable. So it's not like difficult to digest. Where like, I mean, RTC and I are like gearheads, so like we're into buying equipment and having stuff, but that's not always a good thing because it's a puzzle, trying to put all this stuff together. When we see yours, like in your video where you were just showing off your studio, it was really streamlined, really simple. Well, kudos for having an organized space for one. That was that's big, but it was very, very like accessible. So when I looked at it, I'm just like, damn, this dude just goes up a notch on his coolness. Like that shit is just like, because I mean, we've all been in people's studios and their workspaces, and it's like, okay, how can I function in this? And I totally can come in your space and just actually be a rapper or some shit.
But you get a knock at the door instantly, like, and here I am.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I think having a lot of gear can really, destroy bit creativity. I mean, I'm a gearhead as well. I love buying gear. I buy gear and I sell gear. The thing is that sometimes I'm not using a specific machine, and I'm just like, get rid of that, buy a new one, try a new one. But I try to keep just the things that I like in on top of the table to work on that, because I know just so many years, man, go by and it just got to a point where, man, I just need this to be as simple as possible.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been working out. So,
speaking of like so many years going by and whatnot, let's go back a little bit with your lineage. So cheers. Cheers. So you're from Portugal. And you're from there originally?
Dutch bros.
Yeah. I'm just born here on the side, like 100 meters on the side.
Damn. That's tight. So can you talk a little bit about like the music scene there, like especially for your style of music, like the style that we do, and can you talk a bit about that? And like also, did you get into other elements of hip hop? Like, did you ever get into graffiti or anything like this, or like were you a b-boy?
I tried to do a bit of graffiti because I wasn't good at it, but I had some friends that did it. I was trying to do a bit of bombing, whatever, I don't know what people call it.
Yeah.
But no, I actually come from skateboarding into hip hop, so that's my thing. I'm first a skateboarder, then through skate I go into hip hop, and that's how it kind of developed into this. And I was lucky enough to have, even though I come from a very small place here in Portugal, I was lucky enough to have a set of friends that had the best hip hop coming, well, from what I like from like New York and stuff, and that jazz type of the East Coast hip hop. And so yeah, I mean, I think that was it. That's the transition. And you were asking about the Portuguese hip hop scene, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How was that?
Not big, like it's small. It's very small, right? But I think it kind of followed the trend of the rest of the world. Like you got that East Coast hip hop come in, then went to the trap in 2000, 2010. So just about that. I mean,
it seems like it like followed that same trajectory that we did here. It's like it's the same trajectory that we did here. We had the everybody was really like into that East Coast. Then you had the old 1996 era. Like I'm assuming we're around the same age, like that 96 era where you got the West Coast East Coast thing happening that was going on.
Yeah.
And I think most of us as listeners, we were like, man, I like all this shit. Like, why are we fighting? But
then, well, I think that's partly because, I mean, this whole school of thought. Like you coming from the skateboarder, us that were like skateboarding and BMXing and doing anything of that nature, we progressed toward progressive hip hop, and that wasn't like the street hip hop,
right?
But at the same time, just depending on the duality of like your existence, not to sound so deep, but right. If you're living in the hood, you're like privy to like cats in the hood and doing things in the hood, and because I remember I used to sit at the bus stop with this dude who listened to nothing but West Coast rap, and like the shit was just garbage, like most of it, because it was just stuff I wasn't relating to, and then it just wasn't as creative. And I would let him listen to my stuff, and he would listen to mine, and we just didn't, the whole time. But I found,
and now we're doing a podcast together.
And like so, like listening to that now, and like realizing that like I'm from Chicago, so like Chicago has deep Southern roots, so it was like a lot of Southern. So there was a real big divide here on what you listen to. So, but when I went back to Phoenix and I was out in Phoenix and stuff, it was kind of more of a, you never know who was going to be at the event or who's going to be there,
the melting pot,
who's going to be there. Yeah, it was way more like accepting of like the diversity of hip hop.
But a lot of us started choosing up too, because like you say, you have this like this conscious hip hop mixed with like sort of the mainstream West Coast stuff that was going on, especially out here. But like a lot of that took place and then transpired over like 96, 98. And I noticed you said you got into music around 1998, like producing your own music. Is that the case?
Me, yeah. Well, I bought my first MPC in 2000, but I know before that, I think I got into Reason. I was just messing about. I was making music before that. I had bands, punk bands.
Yeah.
And I transitioned from punk because you had that era where it was punk, and then there was hardcore, and there was hardcore with hip hop, and all of that kind of, I was like in the middle of all that. And so, but I had punk bands first, then I went into hip hop later on. I bought my first MPC to the Excel in 2000. So that's where I really started to make beats. But I was, doing a bit before.
What led you to the 2000 out the gate?
My friend is actually, so I was trying to do a bit of Portuguese hip hop history here with you guys. In 94, I think it's when the first album came out, which is called Rap Public. And actually in this particular album, one of my friends was in it, and he's from this place. He grew up the same neighborhood as me, and he's the one that got me into the Excel. So he just took me to his place. So it's super hard to even know what hip hop is in Portugal at the time. Let alone like know what an Excel is. Luckily, he's a really well-known producer here in Portugal. His name is Kilu. And he's the one. He took me to his place, and he had the Excel right there. And he's like, "Yeah, this is what you need." And so he just showed me how to record, chop, and sequence, and that was history.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool because I think that's probably like the same way a lot of us got into like our first sampler. Someone had it and taught us how to use it. It was the same for me. Like back in 2000 is when I got my first MPC from a guy who was already making beats, and he sold me his and showed me how to do it. So it's when we didn't have the internet to look up what's the best beat machine for me, we had to rely on people around us to show us.
Or you were buying. I bought 2 drum machines. As a matter of fact, I just set it outside. I'm gonna throw it away. I have a C Sound 24-bit recorder, and back in 1998, that thing was amazing. It was before its time.
I have to Google that. C-Sound.
Yeah, C-Sound. I bought it for $125. The knobs were great, all that stuff. It was really high quality, but Windows the company went under, and they stopped making drivers for it. So it turned into a cult thing, and I didn't sell it while it was a big cult thing like I should have. Yeah, I'm walking around with that. But yeah, like it was a lot of trial and error buying stuff that I bought a couple of keyboards that I thought had sequencers on it and didn't. So I had a Zoom. I told you RTC, I had the Zoom track. I had that shit.
But so some of your early jump offs into music was actually doing theater, right? You were working with people like kids, right? When you're starting out into your music journey.
Well, say that again.
You were doing like sound basically for like theater and productions originally.
No, that comes way later, man. It comes in 2015 around that time, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay, 2015. So that would be you were like taking I know you put out a record in 2013.
I made it start making that one in 2011, and I kind of put it out in 13. Yeah.
And then there was a space there until about during that gap.
Yeah, I was almost quitting beat making at a certain point. I was just going to I went in and just got into sound design, and I was doing theater, and I was making a bunch of stuff really related to sound. I was doing like 18 speakers sort of things. Like I got a bunch of speakers, and it was all around you. And I was making actually a beat, just the snare would come out one speaker, kick another one, and you'd be in the middle of that, like this. I was getting to weird stuff, which I love. I still love.
That's cool. Yeah,
that is really cool. That's real creative.
That's on like that Flaming Lips type, experimental stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. But then I got into the YouTube channel, and that's what kind of brought me back to the beats. Yeah, but yeah.
I was going to ask you about that. That's weird because you did take that gap, and I know like a lot of us will take a break, from music. Oftentimes, just because putting out music's hard. It costs a lot. It's time consuming.
Yeah. I mean, like even before, like there was no real way to put out music. Like this is the internet right now we're talking about. It's easy to put stuff out.
Yeah.
Before, how would you put stuff out? You would have to print your stuff on CDs and sell it on the streets, or even do the cassette thing, which I hope it's coming back because I saw John. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I got my actually this one. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I need some cassettes, so I need to put some cassettes on that.
They have to get you one.
Yeah, for sure, man. I actually want to get my my albums on cassette, but we'll talk about that later. We were discussing the
gap, that space, and like putting music out, how difficult it can be, without the internet, especially.
Yeah. So I was there. You'd have to print your music and sell it on the streets, and that's what we did basically.
Yep.
Do that, just like CDs, burn CDs, put a cover, sell it, or whatever it was. Then the internet came. And all different. And then I put the album out in 2013, but nothing really happened. I just didn't know how to put it out. I was like, people's going to listen to this. And just no one was listening to it. It was like, obviously I didn't promote it or push it because you have to, right? Didn't know anything about the internet, and kind of just sat there. And
but that's half the battle is getting out there, though.
Yeah.
How many people are in the town that you're from?
Damn it, I don't even know the number of this. I swear, like 50,000. It's a small place. Like the center of the city is 50,000. Because it has the whole district, which is much more. Yeah.
That's not too bad for putting together some hip hop. That's about as big as Flagstaff. which is like a small town in Arizona. But being peripheral and having around, because I mean, you putting stuff out to imagine hip hop growing that far, that somebody in a town with only 50,000 people can put something out and it makes such a big imprint on the culture and worldwide. Because I mean, your videos are getting watched,
well,
crazy amount.
Yeah, well, it is crazy. It's like you can't really believe it's happening. And just you guys talking about showing my video, to me, it's kind of a bit unreal at the same time as you doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose I'm out there and just another side of the mirror that I don't look too much at. I'm just a guy here making music and just point the camera and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you've like started out. Since you put the videos up, and you've gotten it going. You've gotten some good connections and built up some good relationships. I saw you was working with Cooking Soul. Any other relationships that you have that you're working with?
I mean, not really, to be honest. I was with conversations with Cooking, with David, with Cooking Soul. Talked a little bit with Accurate as well. We were going to do something, didn't really, might still work. We'll see, but
we're big fans of Accurate over here. He's friend of the show.
Yeah,
love that guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
He did the show last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. So but no, I don't have. I mean, there's. It's kind of hard to filter then because you get on a ton of emails, you get a ton of people trying to talk to you. It's hard to filter, hard to know. And again, man, I like Accurate. You mentioned this in the podcast. He's a bit of a loner. He likes to work alone. I'm the same, man. I like to be in the studio, just kind of.
I think most of us are the same. Most of us producers in the same.
Yeah.
Like doing our own thing.
And that's maybe because why we got into it, right? Because I remember you can make music on this and not care about having a bass player and whatever. You make your own stuff. Like that's one of the reasons why I got into it. It's like I can make my own stuff.
Well, speaking of working with other people, you did those live streams where you bringing in the instrumentalists to do that. How did that come about?
Well, he actually, we're from the same place as well. And he knew I was doing YouTube and stuff. He knows me from way back. I know him, but just by, seeing him. Never really actually talked. I don't believe we talked before, but like 3 years ago. So he came to me because he wanted to make a band like jazz hip hop. And I said, man, I don't really have enough time, but we'll try it. And we tried it at the time. We made a few songs. It's on the internet. It's called Burning Casablanca. And but then it wasn't really the type of music that I wanted to do when it comes to hip hop and jazz.
Yeah.
So we had a drummer, we had a bass player, great musicians, but I just wanted really to go into that boom bap. So I just invited him to do it, and he's right there with us. I mean, when he gets to hip hop, he likes the same type of hip hop, jazz hip hop that we like. So it's just super easy to connect with him. I'm still making the album, so we'll see.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to hearing that. Yeah, that was cool watching that. Because that's one of those things where it'd be cool to have someone who's a little bit better than you actually playing the keys or sample that.
Nice. I got the Rhodes in the back. I love playing. I love trying to play it, but I had to bring him in to give it some justice and just.
Yeah, and I love what you do with that, because I mean you're almost doing your own sound designing for your samples. Have you thought about doing more sample packs? Or because what I love about your approach is you have an old school approach. I'll see you going through records and you'll just take that guitar step. I'm gonna save that for later. I'll use that later. You have that old school mentality of, okay, let me just hoard these samples.
That's crazy, because that changed actually my way of making beats, but that's because of the new MPCs, because when it gets to the old MPCs, it doesn't work that well.
Yeah,
even making the drum loops first, which I love doing it right now, it doesn't work so well on the old MPCs when I go into them, because like you're listening to records, it's a different workflow, and that's why going back to the old machines is interesting. It is important at a certain level for you to kind of scope your workflow or scope ideas and stuff like that. Yeah, I take a lot of sounds and just create libraries, which just makes it easier to just dig. Digging. I love digging. I love going through any sort of sounds, cassettes, vinyls, YouTube's, VHS, whatever it is, and then just putting everything into a folder, and then later on just.
Yeah, because I like that you're schooling maybe more new school producers on, hey, you don't have to just use the same samples from the same song. It's you look for the key. You have to adjust the key.
Well, I don't
changes you have to make. So
I don't think that a lot of cats are aware. So if you guys are listening out there, it's not just taking the rhythm from Roy Ayers Searching and reusing that over and over again. Just take the key, just take the drum, that like instruments, actual just small parts, and then build your own sound collage, and you'll have a lot richer sound, and like it'll also progress your talent, your not talent, your project or whatever the fuck you know. But I don't think a lot of people have that wherewithal that they pay attention to that, because like they're looking for a 4-bar loop or a 2-bar loop or something to like just throw in, and then they'll use whoever's drum pack and play drums on top of that instead of like just using the keys from, because like all of us will take, one song, we'll bomb squad the song and take like 20 samples for one song, and you can't really tell it because we're chopping up so much little stuff. We're making actual instruments of sounds. So it may be singing, but that singing turns into.
Is that what people call micro chopping? Because I never really know the terms, man.
I think micro chopping is more just chopping the same sample. I think I don't know.
What it might be. That might just be it. I just call it Bomb Squad because that's who originally like I saw do it, or from like the early 90s, late 80s. Ice Cube, Public Enemy.
For me, that always goes back to Pete Rock. It's like, he's taking horns from this, he's taking the organ from this, or the Rhodes from this. It's like that's what your channel reminds me of. What you're doing is like that Pete Rock, like Pete Instrumentals type sound to me, which I fucking love.
To me, that was always the way to like properly produce. I thought that's how everyone did it. Was taking a little something from all over the place, but. Yeah. I guess like in this sample challenge,
we're also
old. Yeah. You make a good point. Yeah. Speaking of like, we're getting into samples and whatnot, but we were talking a little bit about equipment and, old MPC to like current MPC. You have a lot of equipment. Like, what would you say is like your favorite piece of equipment, your go-to if you had to pick one?
Well, it really, I did a video on that once, and to me, like the answer to that, it depends on the timeline.
Yeah,
depends if you're young, if you want to make a lot of beats, or if you just like imagine that you just don't care, you want to sit at home and just like you don't have YouTube channels, you don't have work to do with music, you just want to relax and chop some stuff.
Yeah,
I might go into the 60 for that. If at this point in time. I have to stay with a live because it's just so much work I need to get done by chopping and just making drum loops and stuff with sound packs and stuff. It's just, there's no way I'm going to do that with a 60. So, but a preference as in, because I'm also a very visual type of person. Like I like to look at a machine and feel inspired by that.
Yeah.
I really love to get in the studio and look at the 60. I might not going to make a beat with that. I might go into with a live, but I just loving that in the studio. And I think it really counts for you to get inspired, just by looking at a machine and feel like, yes, you have to get inspired by a machine. I at least.
Yeah, the cool factor of the piece of equipment does matter for sure. If it's like a cool piece of equipment or it brings about some level of like, dude, this is fun, then you're going to have a good time making it.
That's why I keep the SRX here. It's a pain in the ass to use, but it's still fun at the same time. Pain in the ass.
I rarely pull out my MPC. I have it. It's sitting around. But since I just got machine, it's just like the workflow, because it allows me to like keep my ideas moving. And for me, that makes it fluid. So like just the machine, everything's already loaded up. I got my stuff, my chops, because I'll spend the day chopping some things up and then come back. But what I did like in your video, Marlow, you were talking about working on your own sound and creating your sound and not just jumping from sound to sound to just to be creative.
Yeah.
If you're working on Rhodes one day, just stick with Rhodes for the next 7-8 days, and you might come up with a new sound for yourself. I really like that. I dug into that one. It was a while back, but yeah, because that was when I
know that. Yeah, I know that. I mean, the idea behind that is really, I mean, when I started to make beats, I would sample even from heavy metal. You know, of course, you're going to have so many different styles of hip hop, which then, you know, it's cool that you have that. But if you really want to get good at just making like heavy metal with hip hop, you have to do it a lot for you to get really good at it, and then, you know, be one of the best at that thing. So that's the point. Like, it doesn't. If you want to be good at hip hop jazz, you have to do hip hop jazz a lot of times. You know, that's the idea behind it. It's just, you know, it's not that you have to do that. Just always do the same thing. But if you want to be good at something, you have to, just like skateboarding. I don't know if you guys skate, but if you have to be good at one trick, you have to do it over and over again. Same thing, like everything in life.
Yeah, and that's dope.
What's up, John?
Yeah.
Hey. How's it going, Marlow?
Good. How you, John?
Good, man.
Beautiful idea with the cassette tapes, man. That's great. I need to do that as well. You know, I was trying to sell vinyl on crates, but that's expensive.
Yeah,
cassettes seem like a great way to put your product out there.
It is. You know, having something physical and tangible for people to hold on to, it's great. And like you know, you have your cassette player already. Yeah. I've got mine, so they sound really, really, really good. So yeah, we'll talk after the show, man. I
have a question for you about that.
Yeah.
On the digital, does the digital come with a tape sound, or is it just digital?
So, yeah. No, good question. So,
did you think about that before you put it out?
Yeah, you know, with the cassette, you know, you get a unique analog sound when it plays through. You get the tape hiss.
Of course,
it sounds classic. And you're not really getting that, on the digital. You're getting those raw mastered files already that haven't been played on the cassette. You know, that weren't transferred over. They sound good, but it's not that warm analog sound that you get on the cassette.
For like the logistics side of it, like we did with this run of tapes, we did like 100 tapes, and we sold out of those. So whoever pre-ordered those got the cassette, but they also got like the digital version along with it, just as a piece. You know, like here's your digital version, so you can play it right away. But after that, of course, there's a little bit of a delay, and then whoever buys it later online could just get the digital.
Cool.
Yeah,
man, that's great. I mean, I've been thinking about doing that. Eventually, I might end up doing it. Yeah, great. I mean, the best of times in my life listening to cassette.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
exactly.
Again, we're all old. Hey, now, if you said 8-track though, that would be great.
What's that nostalgic feeling that just takes you back? I mean, beat tapes. You know, you made your own mixtapes on cassette, and.
So we're doing another one of these too, so we'd love to have you on there. Like if you have the time, we'd love to have a track with you.
I'll send a beat. Well, I want to get one of those. Remember those headphones that were just like small little foams on it?
Yeah, dude. With the wire. Yeah. That was the classic.
Them was the bus stop headphones. You ride the train with those.
Yeah, man.
That shit that takes me so much back to buying samples, and you get samples singles, the single, and then it only had one song on it 4 times. So
I bought a Duran tape like that. I bought a Duran tape with just one, and I didn't realize it. I think I was like 8, and I got it, and I was like, "There's one song on this. Like, what are we doing? What the hell's happening right now?"
I remember trying to buy, and I didn't realize I had bought an album, and they let me buy it, and then I went back probably 2 weeks later, Tower Records, and I'm in Tower Records, and the guy's like, you can't get this. It's explicit. I'm explicit. Like I said, what the fuck? Like, yo, no, 13, you can't buy it. So we had my friend's 80-year-old grandmother buy it for us.
There you go.
Get in the car with her, and she's like, what the hell? Oh my God.
You got to do what you got to do.
Hey, Marlow, it's great that you're sampling from vinyl.
Yeah.
I think it's very exciting. It's great to see people still doing that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So are you a constant digger? Are you always looking for records, or?
No, I'm not obsessive about it. I now and again I go. I have these ones that I just came with. I'm not obsessive, but I have some. uh, Now and again I go and dig for. I love digging. Just the feeling of digging is great. Got some. I don't know what this is, but the dude just looks like he has some heat. And I have a bunch of other like small little 45s, which they cost like almost nothing, but it's come from like a small little shop, like a secondhand shop. And that's what I have in my city. So I can't really be digging for records all the time because just there's no heat. And like I'm lucky if I find stuff in here. So yeah, I try to, man. I try to dig as much as I can, but it's like it costs a lot of money as well, but isn't it?
For
But
sure.
yeah. But it's not all I dig, man. I like listening to everything, and nowadays you get the chance to go to Discogs and listen to the record previously and see if you got any samples on it. So yeah.
Yeah. So are you buying records also just to listen to, not just for sampling then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them. I mean, I bought one which is a Portuguese Portuguese guy, which is a comedian, which I love. He's passed away, unfortunately. I just bought a record. I love records like that with just the voices, people talking and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right on.
Sure.
Very cool. You know, the jump that you made to YouTube, why the jump to YouTube? Like, what was that? What was happening right before you decided, you know what, I'm going to start making YouTube videos?
I actually, before I had a YouTube channel in English, I had one in Portuguese. And I thought, but then nothing really happened. So I decided to shut it off, deleted the account. And then the English one came from me actually watching a video, and someone was making a tutorial of the touch at the time. And I was like, that's actually not right. What you're saying, like there's something that you're not saying that really explains how this function works. So I decided to do a video on that, and then it kind of grew from that. People started following it, and I was like, oh, I'm getting followers, and then I just started uploading. It was just one after the other. I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just following whatever people wanted, and people wanted more tutorials, and that was it.
You have like that sort of consistency through all the things that I've seen that you create. Like you find you're really good at finding what works, and then just kind of trying to stay in that pocket and replicate it and like improve slowly over time, as opposed to like, cool, I did this, now let me just reinvent the wheel every time and trying something completely different. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I try to find things that I think look good on video as well. Like just these the video that you showed at the intro. I'm trying to do things like that because it just looks good on camera. I love filming the NPCs and stuff like that, making the beats and stuff. And that's one of the things. Like I had Vinyl Wednesdays before, and I was doing Vinyl Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, that was me chopping up a record or two and making a video out of that. I like coming up with concepts for videos and just sticking with them up to a certain point, and then that's basically it.
Patience is like a big virtue that I think a lot of everybody wants instant gratification, and if they don't get it, they'll immediately switch to something else, and then oftentimes trying to reinvent, and you get more misses that way. That was one of the things I think Bree was talking about too earlier, is like one of the things I took from your video. One of your videos was that thing about when you find a sound, instead of immediately trying something completely different after that, when you get it kind of something that people are resonating with and like, hey, I like that one, and if you're vibing with it, try to stay in that same pocket and just see if you can even do it again and do it again. I spent the whole last year with that piece of advice, like with my production.
That
was good.
But I got a question for you, Marlow, on that. Do you have, because we've all talked about this before in the show, and to my knowledge, to my experience, it's the bane of my existence. The beats I make that I really like, not no one likes, because I mean I make stuff that I'm like, okay, that's dope. Yeah, people like that. But I got some stuff that I like that is just like obscure. It's just some symbol heavy, unnecessary shit that like I like. Do you have shit like that?
Yeah.
You have a pocket that you go into that you just make quirky stuff just
which
for
is
you.
totally weird, and I love it. I love it so much. But I know if I put it out, people will be like, "What is that?" You know. But I love it. I love it. I just weird chops connecting one with the other, like just really sometimes out of tune stuff, and just too dirty for I suppose the public sometimes. And yeah, I mean, but I might eventually throw a beat tape like that. I don't know. You know, but yeah, I definitely have a certain sound that I really love, but I think it's too obscure for the general public. You know?
Yeah, I'm totally there with you. I'm like, it's like licorice liquor. It's like nobody really likes licorice and shit, or black licorice or something. But I got it. Like John and I were talking last year. I did a Isley Brother flip, and I did the flip, and John like noticed. He was like, "Wow, you really brought that together." John, that really inspired me to continue like making weird stuff on one side to bring it together and stuff. And it's still like a project, or not project, but
I think sometimes that's what we need. We need some incentive from someone to tell you what you did is good, because I didn't know my music could be heard by people until Cooking Soul told it to me. Like, no, you need to make music, bro. You need to stop with these tutorials and stuff. Just make music, because I was like, really? And I think that's what a lot of us need. They need someone close to you or that you admire or whatever it is that like you sound good. And that really will push you to make even better music. Even
to be honest with you, like, and not to like turn it into an ad, but that's kind of what this project, the Beatcast, is about, right? Is a whole bunch of us have, not all of us, some people are further along than others, but like there's some people who have just been like bedroom producers, and just sort of making music in a vacuum with no feedback. And putting this out and throwing that hashtag on there, getting the feedback is like sometimes that's the thing that puts the battery in your back. That's like, you know what, I should be letting people hear this. You said that as well in one of your videos too. Is like, just put your music out and just see what happens. Like don't be so precious about it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good stuff.
That's like this whole community vibe of, like nobody is here with a huge ego.
Yeah, there's no competition to it.
Yeah, it's not. It's like it really is like a brotherhood, where it's like we probably should do that. We should probably like send everybody patches, so if we ever see each other in the real world.
Well, that's the Beat Hawks.
We just show each other our patch.
Yeah,
but like berets carry that. What do they carry? The
green beret. I don't know.
It's like a thing, braided thing that they carry. And like if you have it, they're like that's signified.
I like the idea we all have to grow one really long braid. People are like, I'm not doing it.
But it's like it's just dope to have this tribe and bring it together and like
for sure.
You're an extension of what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
And like what we all like aspire to, because we're all bedroom dudes who like do isolated crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think I've gotten way better after people started listening to my music, and I got aware of people that were listening to my music. I was like, okay, I need to make better music now. So it just pushes you into doing more and better music.
Absolutely.
So,
do you feel famous?
No, not at all, man. No.
We're all. How does it feel to? How does it feel to?
I mean, like, cause like, okay, I know how that sounds, but like, you have like you can go into a room and everyone will be like, "Oh shit, Marlow Diggs is here."
Oh, but a bunch of producers, yeah.
I'm in Portugal. I don't think people. I know people in Portugal know I exist some, but this is not my community right here. So I think my community is in the U.S., Germany, UK. Spread it, but not really in Portugal. So I don't see that happening.
It's crazy the amount of reach you guys get though. Like you, Accurate. There's a bunch of them, but like you, Accurate. There's what's her name? Damn, I was forgetting her name.
Sarah Too Ill.
Thank you. And there's a few other ones that whenever like you guys come into a room like a producer convention, it's going to be like you guys should all do a panel like that. If you haven't already started discussing it, you should be talking to each other and do a panel. Come to LA or something. Yeah,
that's what this is. And when we get into the beats, I mean,
do you get over to Barcelona at all, or over into like Italy, back and forth?
I used to live in Barcelona for a few months, not even a year, half a year. Lived in the UK, but I don't travel a lot in the. I go to Prague now and again because my brother lives there. So just I think that's about it.
Because I went to when I went to Spain last year, and one of the islands next to Ibiza, I forget the island, but Mallorca. So I was in Mallorca, and apparently like to keep people there because the island is getting it's small and it's isolated. To keep people there, if you're a citizen, you get like this like stupid discount to fly all over the world or into Europe, and then like tickets are like $12-$15 to go back and forth to like Italy and like mainland.
Yeah, we had flights like that. But it was long years, like 10 years ago, something like that. You'd pay like 20 euros, which is around the same $20, to fly, go to the UK, go somewhere for 20, 25, which is so cheap. Nowadays, I don't know, but yeah.
Shit's crazy nowadays. Well, look, we'll save that for our travel vlog, but we're running out of time on the interview piece. We really appreciate you hanging out with us on this interview piece. Cool. So now we're going to segue a little bit into the production side of things and listen to some of the beats. The sample from this week is, and this one was selected by Kordek. Now, Kordek, who you can't see, but he's here in the background, is our angry artificial intelligence. He's always there in the background doing weird things. So the sample is Jimmy Spheris. Maria, I believe, is how you say that?
Maria.
Maria. And these are the beats that were dropped on 5/29/22. So every week we usually pick a random set of the beats that stood out to us. Like, so whatever, each one of us picks one that we dig. And then from there, we just play them at random. He just kind of shuffles them. Unless we hit that subscriber goal, then we'll play them all. The one that I picked this week was by one of the newer cats to the Beatcast, Pete's Homegrown Beats, I believe. And I was really digging this one. I just love that vocal sample that he put in there. That shit's tight.
I love that one. I love it. Tempo was nice on that.
Yeah, nice steady tempo. Now, John, you went with Pixter this week, right?
No. I went with DJ Bad DJ.
DJ Bad DJ. Yeah. My apologies.
Because he sings on this one, so he's doing the vocals over it. That's him. That's our guy. So
yeah.
Shogun selected Pixter.
Okay. If you guys in the background could play that one, because I'm not sure, I can't see which one is. Thank you. Yep, that was it. Nope, that's not it. Yep, that's not it.
That's my pick.
Of course, DJ Bad DJ, always clean.
And he's actually singing on this one.
Yeah. I got a fire I'm putting out. Yacht rock style. I have a wind I have to chase. And I got a head that's full of doubt. And I'm just trying to find my way somehow. The reasons why we do it, I may never know. The love that's in my heart, I just can't let it go. And if I had time, you know how to let it live.
Terrence says mild 70s porno vibe. Mild 70s porno vibe. All right, Terrence.
I gotta say, the beat that played before that had a heavy bass.
Yeah.
And the guy pulled the kick through that heavy bass with no effort, which was really good. I like that. So
Absolutely.
nice mixing on that.
Very good. All right, John, I'm going to switch out with RTC for a moment. I'll bring you back in a little bit. RTC, who'd you pick this week?
I picked Pixter this week. Yeah, I love the breakbeat vibe, the breaks vibe he had on this one.
You know what's crazy about this, too, is just how damn different these are. You'll notice, Marlow, like it's the same sample, the same record, and everyone just goes so, all over the place with it. Before I play this one, though, real quick, a word from our sponsor.
Did you guys give up?
Beatcast. Wait, sorry, what was that?
Sorry, man.
You're okay.
Did you guys give out a winner, or this is just listening to beats, right?
Yeah, just kind of checking them out,
Cool.
some feedback on them, and then there is a winner in the chat though. Every week, Mixwell sends a package to a random person in the chat, so that is a thing.
Cool.
But then there's this.
The Beatcast is brought to you by Mixwell, the turntable and lifestyle brand going strong since 1997. MixwellWorldwide.com. 7th Street Media, digital solutions that connect with consumers. Beat Mecca Phoenix, showcasing and connecting music producers in the Phoenix metro area. BeatMeccaPHX.com. Grand Avenue Records, specializing in 7 and 12-inch vinyl records, CDs, tapes, gifts, collectibles, and more. GrandAvRecords.com.
You know what's wild too is if you use the code, if you go like when you're checking out at Grand Avenue Records, they have a few of our Beatcast tapes there. Oh, thank you for the subscription. Call into some. There's like 4 or 5 of these there because they're sold out otherwise. So if you're in the Phoenix area and you go to Grand Avenue Records, when you're buying this, just remember to go Kaka! Check out. They'll give you 10% off your purchase.
Give the beat hawk.
You know what's funny is Coco at Grand Ave is not going to know what the hell you're talking about. If you go Kaka, he's going to be like, yeah, Kaka. Yeah, okay. Here's your damn tape. All right, let's get into Pixter's beat.
Take my hand. Dos, tres, cuatro.
Yeah, I just love the 2016 snap he had on this.
This is such a good beat, dude. Such a b-boy beat.
You take my hand.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that breakbeat feel. It's a little different from what he's usually been submitting too.
Yeah. He'll go all the way to Moonbatone. He's got it all.
He's all over the place, yeah.
That part there, when he breaks it down in that sample too, I didn't expect anyone to really use that piece. I was digging that.
Yeah, I was digging that as well. I like the what he did. It was a little too fast for me. But
A little too fast. You couldn't breakdance to it?
Yeah, you know how much I love breaks.
I love breakdance. You kept trying. You're like, I can't. It's too quick. I can't do it. Now, you picked Bree. Who did you pick?
I picked
Delvon
Watson.
Mr. Watson.
Mr. Watson. This shit is dope. That tambourine, baby.
If you guys could load up like 10 or 15 more, that'd be good.
Bring it home, lay down your stones.
Shit.
Nicely cut. Nicely cut.
Yeah,
That was tight, dude. You know, it's funny because we always want to like play the sample for the guest, but we never load it up to play you the original sample. It's like one of the things.
Man, I'm trying to guess what the sample is all the time.
Yeah. That's actually maybe that's good. Then we'll play it. We'll play it for you afterwards, and then you'll be like,
That's
"Oh,
cool.
okay."
That's obviously the beginning of the song that he chopped.
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, so that's
You
where
nailed
the solo guitar is, and he chopped it really well, really nice.
See,
Yeah.
man, you plugged in and you got it, man.
You know what you're doing.
dope,
You
man.
know
The most interesting thing of this is hearing what pieces people pull. You know, like sometimes we'll have weeks where a lot of people will pull the same section, but you know, like someone will pull something and be like, "Man, I didn't even think about doing that, and chopping that up." So,
And some peoples will get into the mind game of, oh, everyone's going to chop the beginning, so I'm going to chop something else over there, and that might actually hurt you because you're not actually going for the chop that works better for you.
that you feel, yeah.
Well, not even just works better for you, but just works better in general. Like, why make it more complicated? Like, even though I make like 4 beats every challenge. So like I try to like do something a little different and then just pick the one that I like the most. So
Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. Now, I think the rest from here on out are random. So here we go.
Yep, these are the random ones.
Gianno's from New York,
Would you do it?
I think.
Would you do it even if it broke your heart? Because for every dream that you make come true, you'll pay the price in heartbreak. Would you do it? Would you do it even if it broke your heart? Because for every dream that you make come true, you'll pay the price in heartbreak.
Out of your damn because it was my job, not because I was your friend. I don't like you, I never did like you. Listen, I got you out of your
Nice.
That was nice and smooth there.
Very mellow. Yeah.
Very relaxed.
Hey, thanks for the that sub. I appreciate that. We might actually be approaching our sub goal. I'm going to keep it moving. Jump right into the next one. Oh yeah, Tigre. Oh, I see Dana in the chat. What's up, Dana? Hey, what's up, Ellen?
Take down the replay. Like all those little Easter eggs in the video.
Dude, I absolutely love that.
that was nice.
That was phenomenal. I like that guy.
So, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go.
No, I was going to go ahead and jump in. So we see him using the XY effects on the MPC there. So you also use the 404, Marlow, and I've seen you have the 202 and 303 as well, right?
The
Or at least I know the
202,
202. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you like better? Do you like the effects on the Rollins or on the XY on the MPC?
You know, I think I'll go for the 404.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the 404 with that. I don't know. I think they're more unexpected. I think the XY on the live. I don't know. Something about it. I think they work really well, and they're always on time. And the thing with the 404 is like they're never really on time. It's kind of weird. They're all bit all over the place. You get more creative stuff out of that, I suppose.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, the XY when I messed around with the MPC, I had trouble with it. I had some trouble with that because that screen is so sensitive, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When I was trying to do the sounds and whatnot, like the effects.
I like it because I used to have the Chord Chaos pad, so that's what it just reminds me of using that.
Dude, I think my brother has one of those still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those things are cool. Pablo Station.
Yeah, this is a dope one too.
Love that bass line there.
So what he does with his like break and breakdowns, it's like,
and just the use of silence in this, just like not having a sample, just that works so well. Worked really well. Nice drums, really punchy.
Absolutely.
Good. Not a big fan of claps, but I would just drop it.
Really? I would think that that you being like a jazz head and like how you approach it, claps would be
Nah, man, I can't.
Not even layering it with a snare, like hiding it with.
No,
that should be your next merch. Fuck a clap.
It's all. We put up a caption on this thing. It's Marlow digs. Fuck claps.
You know, I really know how to claps in these beats. I'm like, clap.
Hey, the funny shit is that I made a whole we did a whole. Me and my buddy were like my production partner. We did a whole shit where we didn't use snares at all. All we did was use the
808 clap,
the rim shot, the clap.
Rim shot is different.
Right.
So you're cool with the rim shots, but a clap is just taking it too far.
I don't know.
It's like countdown. We don't need it.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Vargas.
Yeah, Vargas.
I like that snare though.
Yeah, I caught up with Vargas this week, and I told him to tune in because he's a gearhead too. I was like, "You'll love checking out Marlow Diggs and his page and stuff." So
I like
yeah,
what he did there, just changing the main stuff. At the end, he kind of made a different beat out of it. Just changing. I love those type of changes in beats. So
I was interested in seeing what you thought of his stuff too, because he usually will go. He pushes his like sound all the way up. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't care about distorting the drums or anything. He'll go for it. Pretty wild. It's an approach. Yeah. Let's see what we got next. Which one's this? RTC?
This is Mark Matrix. Mark Matrix.
You know what I think of? Remember that arcade game? The car game, a driving game? And if you got enough points, you can make your car like get guns and stuff that shoot stuff.
I don't.
Spy Hunter?
Yes. Yes.
Nice. Steady.
That was Mark Matrix right there.
Mark Matrix. I dig it. Real steady, real consistent, kind of mellow.
It was
a weird choice for samples, but it works.
Yeah. He might have been doing that thing where he's like, I'm going to go for this other thing.
Yeah. It's a strange cut. It's a strange cut, those type of cuts, but they if you put them, they work.
And a quick disclaimer for when you guys put your videos together, it's a good idea to put your tags in there as well. Your not audio tags,
like your name, yeah,
Instagram handles or whatnot as well,
for sure.
So we know who you is.
Who's this?
This is Epic.
Yeah. Epic? I like Epic.
I should have known that. I listened to this like 3 times this morning.
He always has that smooth out vibe.
Yeah, he does.
This is nice, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I heard the snare layered with the tambourine and a clap, though.
Yeah. No, it sounded good. And it's actually a great choice not to use hats. I think it worked really well.
I like
that is interesting, right? How sometimes hi-hat, like just a whole fundamental of a beat isn't always necessary. Like sometimes you don't need the hi-hats in it. It's strange. Sometimes I'll do that on accident, and by the end, I'm like, "Oh, this is actually okay without this."
You know what taught me that was catching street musicians.
Yeah,
and like seeing. I caught this guy like 99, and so it was early in my production career or whatever, starting out, and he was just a guitar player, and he was playing. He was just going just playing whatever he's playing, and he was using his hand for percussion, and then he kicks his shoe off and slaps his foot on the floor and just kept slapping his foot. And it was just like the shit just worked.
Yeah.
And it was a clap or something, but it was like the shit just, it's never what you have, it's what you use.
Nice. Yeah, it's true.
The funny thing about the hats, I'm really not a big fan of hi-hats. I try to keep them down in the mix because I know they're needed for the swing. But sometimes I have to pull them up because they sound the beat is lacking movement, so I have to pull them up, and I hate doing that with hats. Sometimes I like to keep them down there just a little bit.
Sometimes they get a little too in the way, though. They're too in the forefront, and it's almost just like someone tapping on glass right next to your ear. It's like, relax, you know.
Right.
I hear you. This is John, right?
This is John.
I'll bring John in for a second, RTC.
Like that.
John, talk to us about
John's style is just talk about him like he's not here. Like, yo, John, that dude.
Can you believe what John did this week?
No hi-hats.
No hi-hats.
I feel the
John,
same.
this was you?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Good, man.
Thank
Nice.
you.
That's cool, man.
Had fun with that one.
You're good, you. It's funny, every time you pop up, I know you guys can't see the chat. In the Twitch side of things, all of the chat's popping up over the thing, and Messi, as soon as you popped up, my man crush. That's what he said. Messi goodness.
Shout out to Messi.
Yeah. Dose. I really like this one. Oh shit! What's up, Accurate? Accurate's in the chat.
I love this subtle shake. The shaker. I love it.
It makes the beat so much more interesting.
It's a great substitute for that hi-hat as well. That shaker, that just creepy, and I love that.
Totally agree.
Good stuff, 508. Let's keep it running. Garrison Jones.
AJ.
Sticky Zone.
Garrison is like, he's pulling that vibe that
Like that.
Bronze used to pull. Like his shit is, everything he's doing now is such a vibe, man. It's such a vibe.
That's a musician right there for sure. Oh, thanks, Equality. Appreciate that. Shout out to you, man.
Have you guys ever tried to make a podcast where you have to guess where the beat was done? Like, is it done on an SP? Is it done on an MPC?
Oh, that's good.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Because
if you listen to music, there's always like little things like, that must have come from an 404.
Yeah.
You know?
You're damn right. We should do that.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
That's a future challenge.
We'll have you back on for the next time, and then we'll do Guess the Machine.
Yeah. Guess the Machine. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You know, I bet people want to hear that.
Because there's a lot of cats, man. Like what you'll see with all the people that are participating in this, the variety, not just the variety of sounds, but it's like, dude, like half of the cats are coming from using like koala. And then we got like, full on instrumentation, like, guys are making.
Some have the SP. It's all over the place.
Because in addition to, they're also making these videos too. So like they're becoming videographers while making, productions. And it's really
talented people out there, man.
Man,
dude,
and it's not.
I'm glad you brought up the videographer piece because, like I said, these are selected at random. My beat's up next. And this one, normally I just use stock footage because, who has time? But I had made this. Did you see that stuff? Oh my God.
I saw some stock footage of you on the video with Accurate. That was in Portugal, actually.
Yeah. So that was in Portugal. The one I picked, the stock. Yeah, I did not know that. Well, this particular one is actually all in Phoenix, Arizona. This is a couple of my friends that I had do this little short film. But this time I was like, I'm going to recut this film for this beat. So perfect segue, Bree. Here we go. That's it.
Definitely serious chopping. Now, just curious, what were you using to do all those effects with the voices and stuff?
So all of that was done in the machine, the MK3, and the effects that they have built in. I was just kind of messing with their filter.
I have no idea, man. I'm curious about that. I'm curious about that. One day.
It's fun, man. It's a fun time on that thing. I do enjoy the MPC. I do enjoy the experience on the MK3 as well. But the MK3 I just move really quickly because I have the software, components, so I could chop up, quickly and move around. But at some point though, I got to pick your brain about this because one of the biggest pieces of advice I got was from Mediocre. I'm not sure if you heard of Mediocre, but he's a phenomenal producer, and he was listening to my stuff from last season. Was like, chill on the compression. Like he didn't outright say that, but he was just like, some of your stuff's over compressed and some of the tempo stuff. And for me, any of that feedback. So if you want to rip my stuff apart at any time, it's very welcome. I would love to have it because I value your opinion highly. So we can do it later though. We don't have to do it now. You can make fun of me later.
Hi-hats though. Great.
Hi-hats?
Great.
Oh, thank you.
This one is dope, man. Good Soldier got like so much it's old, man.
Dude, damn, this shit's... He always has really good atmospheric keys in the background.
Dark for EXG, but yeah, he killed it.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if it's dark for him. I feel like it's just right in his wheelhouse. He's played some other stuff for me that I was like, man, this dude has been a monster for a minute.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Let's check out some Messy Goodness.
Messy.
Interesting, man. He always puts add a lot of reverb on things. Big.
Yeah, that big sound. He comes with a big sound every time.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Messi. He's in the chat hanging out.
What up, Messi?
Which one is?
It's actually an interesting thing for the Beats reverb. It creates a lot of space, doesn't it? I think it helps the mix a lot. I've been playing with reverb a lot, and it just helps my mix. It just I create a lot of space for instruments with that. I wasn't a very reverb guy before.
Hey, me either, dude. I only started fucking with it at the advice of somebody, but then I heard Questlove talk about it, and when Questlove talked about it, I was like, okay, if one of the best producers that have lived, an actual sound guy, I probably should fuck with it a little bit more.
Let's check out this. Who's this one?
This is Zilla.
Zilla.
Zilla's just good.
Yeah, this one's more laid back, I think, than what we're used to from them, though.
True.
I like it.
Damn, dude.
I love that he made it hype, though. It was still laid back, but it was still hype.
That was dope, dude. We're coming down to our last couple beats. I think we're one subscription away from playing all the rest of them. And if that does come in, Marlow, I know it's getting late over there. You're always welcome to stay through the whole thing, or if you have to jump out anytime, we totally understand either way. Okay. Let's see what we got next. Enel Rivas.
I love how we got that Bit Crush sound on that sample.
That was interesting. Yeah, the vocal sample, that piece of it, I didn't imagine that getting cut out, just like singled out and then pitched around, but it was cool. I could dig that. I think there's some more compression on it a little bit, just to kind of squish it together. Could have been good as well. Let's see what we got here. Which one's this one?
This is UIAH Audio.
Oh, yeah. UI, he's cool.
Yeah, dude's cool.
Yeah, dude. I love that change up. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That dude, that bass he had in there.
Yeah,
Bass.
That was nice. It was real nice.
real gritty. It has that nice grunge to it, little distortion on it.
It's great to see how you can make a beat just with some drums and a bass, and then you add like this little sample in the back that's just like hanging over there, and it works so good.
It's like a tarp over the skeleton's base. Pulls the whole structure together.
Yeah, I was surprised with it. Like most of these beats were a lot more mellow. I was expecting with this sample a lot more boom bap style stuff coming through with that sample that Kordek pulled.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't talk because I didn't make one this week, so I was slacking.
Right. Yeah, well, you had a lot going on. Well, so the next sample, speaking of samples, drops right after this video. It'll go up on our Instagram, which is at the Beatcast on IG, and so you'll see that sample pop up. Marlow, if you have time, I don't know if you have time, but if you want to jump in on the next one or any of these going forward, you're more than welcome to. We would love to have you. And, thanks for joining us, man. This has been, like, pretty freaking cool to be able to kind of pick your brain and hear your story. And,
Great, man. Each time people ask me questions is great because I don't think about it as much. Like, it's just great to go back into the past and kind of think whatever I was doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Talk about beat making.
What's next up for you? What do you got plans?
Not really. I mean, I have to finish the album that I did, the one with the
live one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. And after that, just make a beat tape with a 60, and that's it.
Nice.
Very cool. And we can find all of your stuff here at this link, linktree/Marlow Diggs. Yeah. So you'll see everything there. The Spotify's there. Really good listen. That's like the kind of stuff you want to put on, put on the background, cook something, listen to it. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's real dope music, man.
Yeah. And you do have the 2 YouTube pages, right?
What? Yeah. I was trying to make some of this type of music that the last beatmaker was doing with that heavy electronic bass and stuff, but I haven't been uploading anything. I need to get down to that electronic boom bap. Mm-hmm. And that's on my other page. It's supposed to be there. Will eventually.
Okay. Well, as always, we're going to select the winner of the week for the. Hey, there you go. For the Mixwell care package, and our winner this week is Tigri. So shout out to Tigri. He put in a beat this week, so appreciate you always putting in your beats and hanging out in the chat. We love having you here, and so connect with me afterward. Just DM me, and we'll figure out what size shirt you wear and all that kind of stuff and where you're at in the world. It's funny. I'm doing the same thing with Leo. He's in Italy, and it's like a whole process, like shipping something there. It's like I don't know how they're gonna figure that out. But
I got a box going to the Philippines, and I'm like, they gave me the address. I'm like, dude,
all right, how do I do this?
Yeah, simple. I'll just bring it over to make it easier.
I'll just fly over there and bring it to you. But yeah, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thanks for all the subscriptions. We are almost there, one away, but like this is a good button on the show. That way we don't go too long. And for everything, just go to thebeatcast.com. Thanks again, Marlow, for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
And I hope I'm not forgetting anything else. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Marlow, for being here. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.